Okay, so can you discuss sort of the catalyst behind the move? What were the reasons behind the decision to move from such a sort of iconic location?
We had multiple reasons for wanting to move off of Broadway, but it was a difficult decision because I had been within a 100-foot radius of 4th and Broadway for 43 and a half years. Starting 111 4th Avenue North, 1970-75, but still 100 feet from the corner. And then 410 Broadway, 76 through mid-93, but still right near the corner. And then 400 Broadway, I bought the building at the beginning of 93 and moved in mid-93. We had to do some renovation work. But the neighborhood had morphed into something that was much more tourist-oriented, and it was also much noisier. There were a new breed of clubs that the city was permitting to have windows which opened wide from floor to ceiling, making it like a outdoor venue, starting with Margaritaville, Jimmy Buffett's club, and then once they gave him a permit to let him do it, then everybody else could, and it just became so noisy. And also the neighborhood over the years has become so crowded that parking can be as much as $20 on a regular day and as much as $40 on event days.
Right.
So the regular locals were avoiding it, and for out-of-town people, they were complaining about difficulty of parking, congestion, and once they get in the showroom, we could get as many as 500, occasionally 700 people a day through the door. But
were you getting a lot of like tire kickers, people who really didn't have the budget to really purchase anything?
Well, those people coming through the door were 95% folks who did not come to us as a destination. They were in the neighborhood.
Right.
They'd go in and out of every door. And we were spending a very high percentage of our total time with crowd control and damage prevention and trying to deal with crowds that were not seeing us as a destination. Here we have 45 parking places. We have an 18,000 square foot building. We have a better floor layout. It's custom done inside to suit us.
Mm-hmm.
And ample free parking for customers, not only in our own lot, but if it ever did overflow, is on-street parking that's free. This is a huge difference.
Sure.
And when they do come in, there's tryout rooms, a nice, quiet, pleasant setting, and there's a sales staff that's eager to see them, not trying to look and see who is a real customer and who just needs to be watched. It is physically impossible to give a high degree of quality service to everybody who walked through the door before, nor did they all really demand it, but when you had a customer who did need the high level of service, it was stuck in a room that was too small to have tryout rooms. It was congested and noisy, and the salespeople who were distracted were trying to watch all the crowds. It was not working.
Right.
The neighborhood had morphed into something that in many ways felt like it was a cross between a hillbilly version of Bourbon Street and Daytona Beach at spring break. It was great so far as sales tax revenue for the city, but it was not an ideal place for selling guitars. It was the ideal place for selling beer, barbecue, and Western wear. So
yeah, it's sad to say, but that's true. Now, you've only been at the new location less than a month, but here we are. It's not even noon on a Thursday, and the parking lot is packed.
Now, this is the fourth day of our third week. Excuse me, this is the fourth day of our fourth week here. So basically, 3 weeks and 4 days.
And early impressions are you made the right decision.
It took no more than 3 days in the new location to realize that it was indeed the right move. There was concern that moving to a new neighborhood could be problematic, that our customer base might take months to find us, and it was instant. We had let people know online for months in advance that we were moving. This was a 5-month renovation project on this building. So we had ample time to let people know what was going on, and we put notices in the window in the old shop to people who are now leasing that building, where they'd hand out flyers and have bullets that we had moved. So if somebody does come, even if they see that it's now a Betty Page dress shop, they also can see posted that Gruhn has moved.
Right.
And if they go in and ask,
Everybody
they've got
knows.
flyers to hand out to the people who walk in, and they're handing out lots of them, sending people over here. So we have not missed business because of moving. In fact, business walk-in is better here than it was on Broadway. Fewer people through the door.
But more actual customers.
Well, we get 75 to 100 people through the door per day now, but they're real customers who've gone out of their way to see us, whereas before we could get 500 to even 700, but 95% of them were not there to see us. We're getting more genuinely interested guitar buyers or sellers here than we did at the other location, because Nashvillians avoid Broadway like the plague now. It's a great location if you want to deal with out-of-state people for beer, barbecue, and Western wear. And that's fine, but it's not what I do. So
No, it sounds like it was a great decision, and it seems like it's working out well. It's a beautiful spot, and you have 3 floors dedicated to different types of showrooms,
yeah, we had
repair.
4 floors before.
Right.
And now we have 3. It's laid out very similarly to what we had before. The 4th floor used to be repair, and it still is. And that means our repair shop is very considerably expanded, and before it was so jam-packed it was inefficient. The 2nd floor in the old building was offices and the high-end showroom. Now the 2nd floor is offices, high-end showroom, and case storage in the back area. And so packing and shipping used to be in the other building on the 3rd floor. Now it's on the 4th floor. But it still is a layout remarkably similar to what we had before, but bigger and better. For example, the showroom before had no tryout rooms except for a tiny little room, basically a closet under the staircase.
I remember that.
Where you could try out electric guitars and amps, but it was a tiny space. Now we have a good amp room plus 2 regular tryout rooms. So in every way, we are more comfortable here. It's a better work environment. It's a better environment for our visitors. The people who come in here are happy. They get good customer service from salespeople who are eager to see them. They have ample space, and the instruments are all visible at eye level. We don't have things up on a 3rd row where you have to get a tall ladder to get at them. It was getting vertigo to go up the ladder to get the things, and things up there were not really easily visible for the public. It was often simply even doing that. We didn't have the physical space to display everything that we had. Now everything that's for sale is on display. It's on display at eye level where you can see it. We have the room where you can try it out.
Mm-hmm.
We have a staff that can wait on you if you want the help and leave you alone if you don't. In every way, we're happier here.
That is great, and the store does look great. Thank you for your time. Really appreciate it, George. Best of luck going forward.
Thank you.